would hold you in my arms and you would say to me, yeah.
Well, good morning folks. What a fantastic morning it is. We're lucky to be here, lucky to be alive. What a fantastic day, sun shining. Up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready for the day, feels good. Probably going to cut this video into a couple of different videos, but I wanted to start with the windscreen. So my commute in the morning is about let's see, about 30 to 40 miles, mostly motorway miles. In fact, near enough the entire thing is motorway miles, and it tends to be kind of quick flowing traffic, and then once we reach closer to Belfast that tends to die down and you get into this like heavier traffic where you're having to filter and stuff. So it's not a particularly windy morning, it's not a particularly bad morning, it's just a regular kind of good summer's day, I would say. And that's fine, that's a good enough test for me at the minute of this windscreen. So it seems like it's not much different, if I'm honest. The difference between having this screen in position 3 and position 4 is relative. Now, I wouldn't drop it to position 2 or position 1 because it's too low for me. Some people might like that, like if you're slightly taller, you maybe drop that because then maybe the wind's hitting you in the upper chest rather than on your helmet. But in position 3 or position 4, it tends to hit somewhere on my helmet, but tends to be towards the top of it. But 4 for me is just slightly easier to duck out because I just have to hunker down ever so slightly and I'm out of it. But it's not a natural kind of seating position, so I wouldn't be doing big miles hunkered like that. I would start to feel uncomfortable, you know. So yeah, so I think 4 probably for me in the highest position is probably the best, just because of where it's striking the helmet, the wind. You know, it's quite high up and it's not annoying, you know. It's more a smooth flow of air, but it is at any setting a smooth flow. It just depends relative to you as a person. So I think for me personally, I'm going to leave it in 4. I think it's probably the best that it has been. I think it has made an improvement, but marginal. I think it's just shifting where the wind's basically hitting. So it's going to depend on your height, also depending on your leg length, believe it or not, because depending on your leg length will determine how far forward in the seat, even your arm length, how far forward in the seat that you tend to sit. And if I sit back on this, I quite hunker up like I'm sitting on a horse or something. I like being tucked in around the tank. That feels more natural to me, to be in the ball of the bike, the turning circle of the bike. Now some people like to stretch back a bit in the bike and have their bum closer to the rear seat. That feels a wee bit unnatural to me. You know, my arms would be almost fully stretched in that position, so I don't bother with that. But when you do that, you naturally hunker down more and you naturally get lower. And I think if I sat slightly differently on this bike, in position 4, I'm out of the wind. So if I just hunker down like this and sit slightly further back, now that's my ass hitting the back seat, and that hunkers me down. And I was doing that this morning and I tended to be out of the wind a wee bit. So I think 4 for me is better, not because it's better for every moment of the travel, but simply because it makes it easier to hide from the wind at a particular point. So if I'm doing a bit of acceleration or I'm overtaking or something like that and I want to just get out of the wind for a couple of seconds, I can do it. But for your all day riding, It's marginal. You can flick a coin. So I do think a replacement screen is the way to go if you want to completely block the wind noise. But if you completely wanted to block the wind, just get a QR, you know what I mean? You're never really going to get a bike that's going to do everything for you. And I tried to say this in the last video too. I threw that the windscreen isn't great as a negative about this bike because it doesn't really have any others, you know, and I wanted it to be a true reflection. I didn't want it to be this is the best bike in the world, because obviously it has some setbacks. I think the windscreen is a setback on this bike, but I don't think it wouldn't be a deal breaker for me, you know. Now I may change it down the line or may not, but I feel certainly for the summer and this time of year and the type of wind that we're experiencing, I wouldn't bother. Now what's this guy doing? There's a huge gap in front of you, lad. No, better not. I'll go now. Just not sure what he's doing, you know. So yeah, that's on the windscreen front. And just when I'm talking about equipment and setup and stuff, we'll see how this microphone fares today. So I'm just sick and tired of trying to adjust the microphone and stuff, so I had a couple of replacement mics and I tried them the other day and I put them in my helmet and stuff. They just don't seem to connect. So I got a wee wire that changed the audio jack into a micro USB and put it into the Cine Prism tube, and it just didn't work. So I don't know whether that cable itself's faulty, or whether the Cine Prism tube's faulty, or whether that conversion, you know, the Cine just doesn't like it. And I was then going to try it on my phone, but then the phone's microphone port is a TRRS, like the audio port jack, so it's hard to kind of test it in another device for me to see if it's a microphone that's busted, if it's a wire that's busted, or if it's just something on the Cine Prism tube that doesn't like it. But either way, I've given up the hunt for a microphone that works outside of just my normal Samsung headphones for my phone. But then I did think the other day, I uploaded a few videos and there was a bit of wind buffering in the background, and the headphones have been better than that in previous videos, and I was like, I wonder why that is. The wire's obviously hanging out because it's not in a particularly good position in the helmet at all times, you know, it just moves around. So today I thought this might be a revolution, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my beanie buff, like my neck scarf thing, and if I put on my neck scarf, I can kind of tuck the headphone wires down through the neck scarf, and the neck scarf's tight enough that it should hold it in place, so I can feel where the microphone's sitting, so I know it's not flopping in the wind because it's contained within inside the neck scarf. So it could be a winner, and it could give me what I want, and that's fair enough, because I'm not trying to throw out the world's greatest videos here. I'm just throwing it up as a bit of a hobby and whatever, you know. So I think that's alright for now.